I think the Barisan, having lost its two-third majority in the parliament, has awakened them. I think they're beginning to realize that, realize or rather understand that the state policies have actually affected the Indians substantially. Even though there is some kind of progress among the Indians over the last, particularly during the NEP period, I think the quota system did provide some kind of avenues for the Indians to participate in various sectors, but the relative progress, actually the Indians were lagging behind. That's why if you really look into the Indian civil society kind of setups, the NGOs particularly, their grouses, I think they have been airing this since I think late 80s. The 90s they were quite powerful, and I think but the government was actually closing its ears, and they don't want to listen to the grouses, and that ended up with the Hindraf rally, and the post-Hindraf rally yielded the kind of election results, and the BN is actually has awakened, and they seems to be doing quite a bit of things now, and that is actually a remarkable change in the BN's, how the BN actually want to do its programs rather, not so much in terms of policy changes. I think they are trying to do some kind of programs to keep the Indians satisfied. So in that aspect, if you ask me, I think the BN has been responding in some manner.
During the elections, we also saw that the Indian votes swing substantially to the opposition. Has the opposition lived up to the aspirations of the Indian community?
I would say yes. I would say the opposition is doing very well, and they have taken up the Indian issues very much in terms of what we call issues for debate, discussions and consultation. But in terms of implementation, I think they are rather a bit slow. I think they are stuck between the kind of Malay majority. If they were to attempt to solve Indian issues, would they become unpopular with the majority Malay votes? I think this was some kind of what you call a catch-22 kind of situation for the opposition. But we have been stressing to the opposition, you promised reform. You please carry out the reform, which is actually the people's mandate to you. And you don't worry about winning or losing in the next election. You just do what you have promised. And I'm a bit surprised recently when the Selangor Mantri Bazaar, in a public gathering, in fact he said that they have already learned the ropes and now it's time for them to implement what the people wanted. So we are anxiously waiting for the particularly Selangor state government to carry out drastic reforms in the implementation and in terms of even policy changes. So if that they can live up to the kind of expectation that they have created during the election period, then they are on the right track.
So you mean to say they haven't actually catched up with the aspirations of the Indian community?
I won't say they have yet to, but because, for example, in terms of addressing specific issues like issues on land, giving of land alienation for Tamil schools, temples, and even in terms of addressing plantation, what we call, when the plantations go for change of the land use, I think they are even looking into that kind of guidelines, how to make the plantation owners become much more responsible to the estate workers and things like that. I think they are moving, but in terms of, it takes two setups. One is a political setup, the other one is the institutionalized civil structure, the civil servants setup. So on one hand, these people are afraid that the civil servants may not cooperate with them and things may become too difficult if they really carry out a drastic change in the kind of directives to be issued and all that. But I think to me this is something that he wanted to do. He wanted to run the state and he wanted to do, and that is your business for you to overhaul the system.
Confucius said, A 1,000-mile journey begins with a single step. The first step we expected from the Pakatan Rakyat government, which has got almost exclusive and almost absolute powers insofar as state land is concerned, even that one issue has not been fulfilled. Okay, there are, let's say, there are hundreds of issues concerning the Indian community which Pakatan could have addressed, okay, which is within their powers, within the state government powers. But I will leave aside the 99, I'll just take one issue. Okay, so if the one is not done, the others are not going to be done. There are 98 Tamil schools in Selangor, 58 Tamil schools in Kedah, and also 28 Tamil schools in Penang. Just by the stroke of the Menteri Besar's pen and the Chief Minister of Penang's pen, all Tamil schools, for example, all Tamil schools could be granted state government land. And when state government land is granted, the federal government will be forced to grant all these Tamil schools fully aided status. Okay, but now it has been 2 years since Pakatan Rakyat has come to power, and we get Pakatan Rakyat representatives telling us that they need time. My answer is, you don't need 2 years to sign the papers to alienate land to all, let's say in Selangor, to all 98 Tamil schools in Selangor. You do not need 2 years. You need just what, 2 seconds of the Menteri Besar's signature. That's the only time period you need. Now the question is whether there is political will or not. So we have analysed the reasons why Pakatan Rakyat, why the PKR-led Pakatan Rakyat in Selangor, for instance, and also Penang and also Kedah, why they are not alienating land to these Tamil schools, is because, number one, they may fear that they may lose Malay votes. By giving land to Tamil schools, they fear they may lose Malay votes. So it's a political decision not to grant Tamil schools land all in one go. What we are saying is all in one go. Number two, most of the Tamil school lands, Hindu temple land, Hindu cemeteries, Indian settlements are all sitting on prime land, prime land for development. Okay, so this land has been used as a land bank by the UMNO government for 53 years. So whenever they want to make some money, they demolish the temple, they put up a building, okay, and they make money. Many people make money. So insofar the Indians are concerned, when there's a cemetery, even in Kuala Kubu Baru, a few weeks ago, for development purposes, a Hindu cemetery was demolished, and there were reports in Sinar Harian, which we have put in our website, humanrightspartymalaysia.com. Bones were scattered all around. This does not happen to the Malays, to the Chinese, Orang Asli, Kadazan, Iban. It doesn't happen. It only happens to the Indians. So the solution is in the hands of the Pakatan Rakyat government, and they had 2 years. Okay, to us, UMNO had not done it for 50 years. They have not granted land for these 4 categories I mentioned: Hindu temples, Hindu cemeteries, Tamil schools, and Indian settlements. They have not granted land. And assuming in the next general election, 2012-2013 general elections, Pakatan loses in all these 3 states, there's no way UMNO is going to grant these 4 categories land, Hindu temples, crematoriums, cemeteries, and settlements. There's no way UMNO is going to grant them land. Our question is this: why not you, Pakatan Rakyat, during your tenure, why don't you do it for us? That is why we voted you in. And it's 100% within your powers. Has got nothing to do with the federal government, federal UMNO government. Okay, so now 2 years has passed. Now there's another 2 more years. Why has that not been done? So if even that has not been done, what more the other things? We can just give a walkover. They're not going to do. And we have written numerous letters to the opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim, to the Chief Minister of Penang, to the Menteri Besar of Kedah, Menteri Besar of Selangor, asking for an appointment to amicably resolve these matters. They don't even reply to our letters, and this is exactly what UMNO has been doing for the last 53 years. Same, we don't see a difference.